Okay, so we have Ron on, and he's going to talk about MLM Mastery and some things you want to know about Ron. He has created himself super passive income with MLM. And he even has a course and a software all around teaching you how to do MLM and getting passive income from your MLM business. So, Ron, can I hear you? Are you there?
Probably.
Yep, you're back. Okay.
It helps to turn the power on the microphone.
All right, you guys, Ron is here. Yay, Ron. So let me go ahead.
Well, I thought this was just a you and me thing, but that's okay. Who are we on with?
We're on with, yeah, I know. We have an interview with you, and it's about your MLM, how you grew your MLM business, and how now you have a book. You have a you had a membership site for a long time, and then you got into software as well. You have your own app. So we're gonna talk about MLM Mastery with Ron.
MLM Mastery Club. Okay. Well, that's what I've been focusing most of my energy on these days. My background is techie. I don't know if I have a, yeah, here we go. This is my world, right? This kind of stuff, right? Making things like this. But I recently, last 10 years, have been focusing on MLMs and creating passive income from it. And what I realized after doing all these training courses was that I needed to kind of focus a little bit more on generalizing it rather than being specific to one particular MLM company. So that's where the club idea came from. And so I've been working really hard, building up the website, building up the kind of the infrastructure to make it all come together. And we are, I would say we're within a month of launching this thing. We're pretty close. I'm actually working on getting content providers in now, and working on getting the whole platform kind of built up, and it's actually coming along really, really well. So I'm very, very happy with that. So that's kind of what I'm working on. And like I said, I just thought it was just a you and me call, so I had no idea we're going to be presenting anything. So sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. Actually, my team, what is it, scheduled this as an interview, and I was like, we have an interview today. But I think you know, we'll just go with it and talk about MLM.
Sure.
So one of the questions I want to ask you is, you know, a lot of people have a lot of rough times with MLM. Why was it easy for you to do MLM? Like, what made it more natural for you? Like, what was the secret sauce that you stumbled upon?
It's actually kind of a fundamental way of thinking when you're building MLMs. Most people approach MLMs as though they're selling products for a company, okay? And that's really the focus. It's like, and the companies all focus on the same thing. They're all about, you know, selling widgets, selling oils, selling, you know, shake mixes and vitamins or whatever things that they happen to be selling. You know, right? You name it, right? Everything.
Yeah.
And so the focus is sell products, sell products, sell products, sell product. And we don't care what happens after the sale. We just want to sell products. And as everybody in this call probably realizes, that the after the sale is probably more important than just the sale. Okay. And so what I've really figured out is it's more important to focus on the people rather than the products. Okay. In fact, I just wrote a book last fall. It's called Beyond the Products. And some of the things that's really important is that when you're meeting with people, and it's kind of funny because I was listening to one of my old videos I did like 10 years ago, right? And even then I was like, now look, we're going to go build this thing, right? I mean, I was like nowhere yet. And I was like, we're going to build this thing, but the way we're going to do it is we're going to do this as a team. We're going to like, why do you want to be here? What is your why? What is your goal? What is your passion? You know, if you could have anything and right? And even from the very beginning, my focus was, how do I help them become successful? Because network marketing, the big bonuses are not paid on product sales. Even though the money all comes from product flow, the real money, the real bonuses come from the network building, the building of a network of builders, okay? And not a network of sellers, okay? And so there's a fundamental difference. Networks of sellers, they have only limited things. And then the problem is, how do you keep that going? End of every month, it's like, oh no, I got to get this bonus. I got to sell some more products. And we got these special BOGOs going today. And we got these special deals going. And the truth is, that gets old. It's like spinning plates. You have all these plates spinning in the last day of the month. And you talk to any network marketer, and that's the reality. It's like, oh my God, end of month bonus. If I don't do this, I don't get my silver, my diamond, or my presidential intergalactic diamond rewards, whatever it is, right? And so I, from the very beginning, grew very, very quickly because I had the conversations about the people. What is it you really want? And then what's cool about that is you can duplicate that. Instead of duplicating product sales, you're duplicating helping to become a dream builder and help people develop what they really want. And they have the same conversations with their people, okay? And so what you really become is a network of buyers and your dream builders, okay? Mm-hmm. So you're building your passion, your future, but you're just doing it by buying the products you normally use anyway, okay? Mm-hmm. And you're not out there trying to sell stuff. I don't have any retail customers, and yet I have a 5-figure a month income from my MLM, and I spend an hour a month on it, okay? Most people at the level I'm at, they spend a lot of hours on their business, So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
they never reach where you're at.
What's that?
Or they never reach that amount.
Right. Well, the reason is because they're focused on selling products. Okay. You can only make so much on a product. Okay. The only MLMs out there that I've seen that could make you say 10,000 a month selling products are things like the weight loss things, or things that put people into programs. And those programs have, typically a year of monthly 300 or 400 PV or point volume orders. Okay. And that's, that can generate cash flow because you're a coach, right? But the reality is, if you want to go beyond that, if you want to go to the 50, the 100, to $200 million a month type levels, you have got to have a duplicatable process where you have people helping people get what people want. Okay. And not just focusing on use this oil to get rid of a headache, or use this vitamin to solve a bone problem, or whatever it might be that they're doing, right? So that's, it sounds like it shouldn't be a secret, but it seems to be, because the companies don't think that way, right? The companies want to sell products, mm-hmm. Right? So that's their focus. That's all their training.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm coming from my MLM Mastery Club, is I want to make it fun. Okay, we have travel, we have destination things, we have events in different places, and we have points, and we have, a lot of fun things going on with this thing. But we're making it so that we have experts, the Zig Ziglars of the world, people that are big names, putting their stuff on our platform so that people can pick what they want. Okay, and they can pick at the level they're at. They could be a beginning level person. Well, you get these things. If you're a mega diamond, well, you're probably interested in this stuff, right? Maybe online stuff. I've got a guy doing web platforms that I can putting into my diamond inner group type people, right? Which maybe somebody at a higher level says, I need a website. I need a platform to support my team, right? So I can bring my guy from Morocco who's in charge of all the IT stuff, and a guy from Sri Lanka who does Sri Lanka doing all the code and whatever. I can connect those people together so that they can get what they're here for. Instead of learning how to prospect people, they've already figured that out, right? So there's something for everybody at every level, and that's kind of what I'm trying to build. So that's where we're in.
Wow. And so Stefan, who is one of the people I know for like a while now, Stefan, right? 2 years. He says he would love to get connected with you, Ron.
Sure.
Yeah, his handle is Get Success Online.
You can just send me an email if you want, Ron at MLMmasteryclub.com.
Yeah, just go ahead and email or reach out to Ron Wilder on Facebook. So what you said was, the way to sell, similar to like selling what's not yours, like affiliate marketing. The mm-hmm. greatest affiliate marketers, what they do is they brand themselves and they reposition the way that they provide value to the audience, value to their people, in a way that's like, oh, I'll teach you to do this. By the way, there's like these other, like, by the way, you can have this on that journey there. And affiliate marketing, the people who fail is like, here, get this, because what is it? It's not going to be more expensive for you. It's going to give me some commission kind of deal.
Right.
And most MLM people, when they get into it, it's like, oh, you got to hit certain numbers and you got to sell this knife. And then, you know, you got to hit up all your friends and family member. They don't approach it the way that's like, hey, like, this is a chance for you to really build a network and not spend a dime in all this inventory or something like that. Like, you can provide all this stuff that your family or yourself is already buying, but it enables you to really grow this network that you have, so that when you go and you switch or you do something, you'll have all these people kind of supporting you under your umbrella. And yeah, and and it happens a lot. I feel like it happens a lot that we get into something, and unless someone that has a lot more experience tell you otherwise, you're kind of just blind and lost.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So Stefan says, so true. Brand yourself and not the company. If you move company and all you do is brand the company, no one follows your brand. Just like how like my friend, what is his name? Doug Botten. He's all about ClickFunnels, but he's not like ClickFunnels. He's like, no, sales funnel mastery with Doug.
Exactly.
So first that, then secondary is, you can do so much with ClickFunnels. I'll show you how.
Exactly. Well, but they're buying your expertise. They're buying you. Okay, they're not buying the product. They're buying you. Even as a network marketer, right? When you talk to somebody even about the products, they think the product might help, but they're buying you and your expertise. Well, how do you use that product? When you should use it? You're getting a lot of information, right? And it's like when people used to go, well, why don't they're just going to buy it on Amazon? I'm like, they buy it on Amazon. They're not going to learn how to use the products. They're not going to have a person they can call when they need help on something. They're not going to be able to make money referring their friends to it if they want to focus on the product side of things, right? Amazon won't give them any of that stuff. Right? And you don't even know the quality of the products coming in from Amazon. People cheat all the time, right? I mean, Amazon isn't like this pure product delivery system, right? So, so there's advantages buying directly from distributors, clearly. But, you know, people, if they don't understand that, which is, you know, the stuff you have to teach, right? That's part of what I teach in the mastery program is just, you've got to differentiate yourself from everybody else, right? It is personal branding because it's you. You're the one you're in front of it. And whether you want to focus on products or people, okay, it's still you. You're still the brand. You're still what they're buying, okay? And in fact, a lot of companies say, "Oh, don't tell them what the company is." I'm like, "Oh, give me a break." You know, I mean, you know, like it's like the old Amway thing. "Oh God, don't tell them you're an Amway or something," right? And I remember my friends were like, that was my first MLM I did like in the mid '90s, right? And I remember, I'm like, I was proud. I was like, I was an Amway, and everybody's like, don't say that. I'm like, why not? Why not? You know, and again, you know, it's like, if you get into that mindset of like, oh, I'm embarrassed with what I'm doing, you're never going to do well, right? But nowadays, I have no problem telling people what I'm doing. But the thing that's important with MLMs is don't be a serial MLMer, right? People always see the grass is greener on the other side. I've watched some really good distributors. You know, I've lost some good distributors, you know, 5 or 6, 7, 10 levels down, who got sucked into another MLM. And I looked at, you know, one of the things in my book, it talked about how do you evaluate an MLM? How do you figure out when it's a good match for who you are, right? And one of the things, and I said every one of those things has to be perfect. There's 5 things. They all have to be perfect. If one of those is wrong, you might have short-term success, but you're not going to have the long-term passive income. I've been doing this MLM I'm in right now for over 10 years. And, you know, it took me a year and a half to get to the 5-figure level. And I've never, it's just there. Whether I work it hard or not, it's just there. If I want to build it further, I could. But again, What do you learn when you're an entrepreneur? MSI, right? Multiple streams of income. And so I don't put all my eggs in one MLM basket. And the thing I learned that was pretty smart is you take what you get from the one MLM, the master one, the primary one, and you put that toward other business things, or you invest it, or you buy property, whatever it is that you do, you invest that, you create a cash flow from that, and you live off of that cash flow, okay? If the MLM goes away, poof, you still have the cash flow, you haven't changed your lifestyle at all. People get stuck in this mindset of like, I'm making $100,000 a month and this is great. And then the company the next day is closed. And it's like you went from 100,000 to zero in like one day, right? And it's like, if you haven't thought about these things, right, you'll end up in a bad place, right? So, I mean, I could talk hours about this stuff. So, you're going to have to steer me here. Oh, that's weird. It looked like you're frozen there. Anyway.
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Anyway, like I said, I a lot of stuff. I mean, I have lots of secrets that I share. I love my life purpose is to help people be the best they can be through my example. Okay. The book's called Beyond the Products. You can go to beyondtheproducts.com. And if you want to see what the book's, I have 12 secrets in there. And then I have some additional things. A lot of people got stuck during COVID, like prospecting belly to belly and connecting with people and stuff, right? Because they had to wear their masks and stuff. So I had to do a whole, it's like we all did, right? We all went from a switch, gears, right? Switch tracks. And the track that I had to jump to was, okay, well, we got to focus on online stuff. And that's kind of where the app stuff came from, right? And the app can make little websites. It can do, like autoresponder type things. It can do texting, automatic texting. It can do broadcast texting and all that kind of stuff. So, and the training I'm doing is now for how do you take your MLM business and go online with it, right? And the thing that's so cool about that is that once the masks start coming off, which in our state, they're finally coming off, right? It's like, I went to a restaurant today. I went to Burger Me. It was a really nice little burger place. And they had bison burger and they had all these different kinds of burgers. Nobody was wearing a mask, right? Nobody. It was like, yes, right? And like, people can start prospecting the belly to belly again. But the cool thing is if you learn how to do it online, now you have a secondary path. Again, multiple streams of income, right? But in the prospecting of the online business, I'm not prospecting to sell products. How many times have you seen in your Facebook thing where they're like, oh, you got to buy my really cool potion here that does this, or my new makeup kit or my whatever it is, right? I mean, you've seen it all, right? Yeah. And it's like, oh God, please, just how do I kill this? And then you look at like Facebook where, like you get a group in Facebook. I'm an admin on one of the groups and it's like, we have like 1,500 people. It's a fairly small group, right? I put my message out to the group about something coming up and it says, your reach is 20 people. And I'm like, what? I have 1,500 people in this group. My reach was 20. Oh, but if you spend money, I'm like, I'm not playing that game anymore, right? You've got to be smart in how you do online stuff. And Kim's brilliant about that stuff. So follow what she's doing. She's got it figured out.
Well, multiple streams of income is something that I am a fan of for sure, because I always talk about that with the software world. Essentially, we're having like, every single subscriber is one more stream of income coming in, and definitely diversifying your stream of income. What I've come to know is a lot of my wealthier friends, they treat every business as its own ATM. Yes. And getting the business to become ATM's level is hard. That's like a road that you have to really brand yourself or really figure out like how $1 comes in and $3 comes out.
That's right.
But when that's achieved, and it's achievable, it's not impossible. You just have to keep at it.
Yep.
Then they see it as an ATM, and then they take that, and you're essentially controlling treasury at that point. You have cash, and with that cash, it's not only like now I have cash, but oh my gosh, I'm sitting on cash. How do I make each dollar work for me? Exactly. Whether that's investing in other companies or stocks or putting it in Bitcoin or wherever else where that $1 is going to work for you. Yep. So, that's a really good way to think about your money with the MLM.
Well, and the thing about it is that, when you have cash coming in, there's a really, some people struggle with not spending it, right? And the one thing that I've learned is delayed gratification, right? It's so important not to spend your money when you get it, okay? But either invest it or hold it or figure out what you're going to use it for that's going to give you a bigger return, right? I don't go out and just buy toys all day long. I just don't. I mean, I could. Oh my gosh. I remember talking to some of the new distributors way back, 6, 7, 8 years ago, when we had reached the diamond level. And I remember they're like, oh, I wish I was a diamond. Now all my problems would be solved. I'm like, no, they won't. Because what would you do when you went diamond? And they're like, well, I'm going to go buy a new car. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go on vacation. I'm like, exactly. You don't want to do that. If you do that, you're not going to have any money ever. Okay. You got to be smart, and not, and I had another one who was like, she goes, oh, it's so hard to get there. And then she goes and takes and buys a teepee for her backyard. I'm like, seriously? I mean, she's probably spent like $3,500 on a teepee, right? And I'm like, why? Why did you do that when you're struggling and you're trying to break away from your job, right? Well, I wanted a teepee. I'm like, exactly. Delayed gratification will give you what you truly want, okay? You just have to be patient and you have to apply yourself toward it, right? Mm-hmm. And so these are all things. If somebody goes diamond right away and they have a 5-figure income, they'll probably be totally royally screwed because they're going to start spending all that money. And then the IRS is going to go, hello. And you're going to go, uh-oh, I don't have that money left. I bought the mega TV, or I went on vacation. And I'm like, we still want our money, Yeah. So you got to be smart. It's a business. Don't act like a hobby. And it's like, it's not Christmas every time you get a check. Okay. It's take that. And you can invest in things, but I've always, especially with the economy and the inflation is going to start going bonkers. I just figured it doesn't make sense to me to put money in the bank. Okay. I'd rather take that money, invest it in either myself in terms of hiring people to do certain things to help build my business, or to, anyway, you get the idea. You want to put your money to work for you. Okay. And you just have to have patience, but you have to work it. You can't be lazy. You can't just, when it starts coming in, go, I've arrived, right? No, you've never really arrived. Okay. You're just on the journey. And I always tell people, life is like an elevator. You can get off at any floor you want. Okay. If you get off on the first floor, well, then you'll be at the first floor until you decide, I'm going to go hard work and go to the second floor. Right. Or you can get people that say, I'm just going to work, get off on the 5th floor, right? And have so much more for me. So, and I can help so many people. And again, in network marketing, like any true business, you're not going to make any money unless you help other people make money or have value before you get yours, okay? It's really important with network marketing to understand that you're not going to make money unless other people are making money that you've guided, okay? It's not, if you make it about you, you don't win. You make it about them, you always win. You always want to help other people because it's helping other people, creating that value for other people is what makes this machine work, So anyway, I'm babbling again, but.
Well, it's important what you said, because I think the network marketers, when I got recruited, it was in college and I was desperate for making money. Right. So I had a very narrow perspective about what it is. And I went into it like that and no one corrected me. No one was like, wait a minute, this is about building your brand. Everyone was like, you got to become eagle. I think it was like, you got to become eagle, which means you got to find 8 people, start calling your friends. Right. It was like very much, I don't know. Yeah. Predatory kind of.
High pressure. It's not fun. And the thing about it is you ruin all your friends. I used to tell people when they started my business, I would say, look, rule number 1, you don't get to talk to anybody about this yet until you've gone through at least 2 weeks of my course. Okay. Because I want you to not burn up all your friends. I want you to have friends in your business. And if you do it the wrong way, they won't join you, or they'll join you because they feel obligated to join you. But they have no interest in building this thing, right? They're there because they want to help you because they're their friend, right? And so I say, look, there are so many people in the world. There's way more people who aren't your friends right now than you have friends, right? Your market is not your friends. Your market is the world. Okay. And so if you learn how to do it the right way, then everybody can become your friend. Because if you think about it, anybody that you didn't know when you're a kid, that you've met since being a kid till now, was a total stranger in your life until they became your friend, right? So you've got to get out there and meet people, right? You've got to befriend people. You've got to help people. You got to be there for them. And yeah, I mean, we get stuck in situations where we need money. Nobody joins an MLM unless they're broke or need money, okay? I was the first to admit it, okay? I started with $100,000 in credit card debt, okay? With no cash flow. And I was like, uh-oh, I got to do something. And I was doing everything. I'm sure people on this call can relate. I'm like trying this, trying that, trying this, trying that. And it was like, it just wasn't coming. It wasn't coming. And I remember one of my coaches at the time said, Ron, you're brilliant when you focus on one thing, okay? You're broke when you don't. And that was such an eye-opening thing. I was in total denial about it, but I had all these $1 million projects and I had all these things, and it wasn't there. It wasn't now. And one of the things I learned was now money now, future money future, okay? If you need money now, you got to figure out what you're going to do right now to make the money thing happen, okay? Network marketing may or may not be it. Maybe it's product sales and network marketing to get now money now, right? Whatever it might be. You got to solve the now money now problem. And then you start building the rest of it, okay? But you can solve the now money now problem by investing in people, by working with people, okay? Because again, it's the network bonuses that pay. Those are the big bonuses. It's pretty rare to have a 5-figure month selling products, okay? I mean, $10,000 is starting at 5 figures, right? And to make $10,000 a month selling an MLM product is a lot of work. I mean, and every month you got to do the same thing over and over and over and over. That's why everybody burns out, right?
Yes.
But if you start by working with people and helping them get what they're looking for and being their guide, right? All of a sudden it's like it starts duplicating, it starts growing exponentially. And so the next month, instead of you doing all that work, some of your team's doing some of that work. A month after that, some of their team's doing some of the work, and so on. Now your level goes down, 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 to the point now where really I don't have to do anything for the business, right? I mean, really, an hour a month, right? Because at the end of the month, I always look to see, oh, this looks good. Yeah, that's good. And that's it, right?
It's the same concept as like things aren't really what they seem. And even for like software, especially for software and coaching, I'm going to say both software coaching. With coaching, everyone wants to get in and they're like, I just got to make that automated webinar. I go and make the evergreen thing. And they don't realize all the people who've evergreened their stuff worked crazy to get product market fit, work like crazy to figure out if their message lands and like test a bunch of times, lost a bunch of money and do it the hard way and then evergreen it because they figured out the exact thing to say. And then they make all that money like working 1 or 2 hours a month.
Right.
Cool. But everyone comes in going, I just got to get that evergreen webinar, blah, blah, blah. And same thing with software. I just want to have like complete passive income that's completely passive. And I want to make $100,000 a month.
And I don't want to do anything for it.
Yeah. And what I've seen is it's a rough discovery for someone to come in and think that it's hey, this is just going to happen. It takes so much work. And I do know that if, hey, you're selling coaching, then you got to have something high ticket, which makes you break your brain, which makes a person who gets paid like, an X amount hourly to never even fathom that they can pull in like 10K in a day or something like that. It makes them break it. Same thing with software. To get to like 10,000 subscribers, a lot of the software I know out there, they have bigger programs. They have these higher ticket educational additions to that software because that's what's going to make them afford ads. That's what's going to make them actually like build out a team. And then they get thousands of subscribers from the effect of it. but it's a much slower process to do one $10 person at a time, just like with coaching one person. And with MLM, it's like, hey, let me brand myself, the education, the information, and buy into that. And by the way, here's all these other products. So a lot of things that I see out there is a, by the way, get this. And that is really what will pull in that true passive income. And then taking that money and investing in something that's maybe even more passive, like stocks.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I keep coming back to when that money comes in, it's not your money. Okay. That's money that's going to go someplace else to make you more money. Okay. So biggest tip to switch from products to people, it's the questions you ask. Okay. It's the questions you ask people when you meet them. If you're asking them, what kinds of pains and things do you have in your body? Like if we do essential oils as an example, right? What kinds of pains do you have in your, okay, so we'll try a little bit of wintergreen, a little bit of lavender or lemongrass or whatever. We'll pick some oils that'll help with the pain. So you're focusing on the products, okay? But if instead you meet somebody and say, what would make 2021 the most amazing year of your life? What would that look like for you? Okay. What kinds of things would you do or buy or experience in life that would make 2021 the best year ever? And you let people talk, right? You let them start talking. Then you go, okay, I can see that happening for you, but let's get into details. How much is that thing? Let's pick one of those things. How much is that going to cost you in real dollars? Is it $5,000? Is it $250? What is it that thing's going to cost? That thing you want? Okay. When do you want it by? Do you want it by October, or do you want it by December, or do you want it by June? What time frame are you thinking about for having this? And somebody will go, by the end of the year. I'll go, well, would it be better if it was like October 1st? They'd be like, oh yeah, well, why don't we focus on October 1st? Because I see a way that we can make that happen if you're interested. And they're like, oh yeah, October 1st would be great. And you go, you seem like the kind of person who is like driven. I mean, if I gave you a pathway to do something and I worked with you day by day or week by week, is that something you believe that you could do, that you would want to do? Because if we do it together, right, I can give you all my little secrets, right? I can show you how to do it. Now, which of those people is going to be more motivated to continue the process of self-improvement and continue the process of the personal growth and sharing exactly what I just did with them with other people? Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's how you make it people-centric instead of product-centric. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know who asked the question, but does that give some clarity?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's in my book. All that stuff's in my book if you're curious. I don't sell my book to make money. I sell the book because, I see so much crap out there about how to do things in the world of multi-level marketing, network marketing. And there's so many people that are just money focused. And I hate that, because when you're so focused on money, you're not connecting with people. You're connecting with money, right? Mm-hmm. And so you're not connecting with the heart. You're connecting with the head. Mm-hmm. And in network marketing, to be truly successful, you've got to connect at the heart level. You've got to care about people. And if you're the kind of person who doesn't care about people and has no interest in people, I say stay away from network marketing. Okay. Do online marketing. Okay. you can become invisible, right? But if you want to make serious money and build a network of people, start connecting at the heart level. And that means things like, I feel this instead of I think this, right? Mm-hmm. I feel we could work together on this. Yeah. Okay. I suppose I think we could work together. I mean, which of those feels like, ooh, like, wow, connection.
Yeah. And they said, yes. Facebook user, allow StreamYard to let me see your face so I know who you are. Guys, if you're getting value from this interview, let me know. Hashtag value, and also smash that heart button. What I want to, I think part of what you're saying might be really foreign and new to someone who just like hop into the space. And also I feel like everything is as you go deeper into it, in order to get any amount of success, when I look to my right and to my left for my peers, it's always heart-based. Always, whether it's software, it's heart-based. You're getting one more customer. That customer is a real life person, and they're trying to solve a problem, and they have a whole life and a family and everything. So everything is, to me, heart-based, whether you're selling software or a book, or that's your message, your story, you're putting yourself out there, just anything. And coming at it, like, people don't buy from companies as much as from people. And especially with the online space, with like Kickstarter campaigns and, you know, GoFundMe's, all these things, Patreons, it's becoming more and more people to people. And it's definitely, and you don't need to have too many people to have massive online success. That's what I discovered as well. To have a lot of people.
Well, it's like with network marketing, right? I mean, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 people that I kind of look back right now in actually 3 to 4 people right now that I've kind of was really working closely with, and then helping them connect with people at their level, right? And it really is an exponential growth. Okay, it's exponential, and it gets easier and easier and easier. And the cool thing is, if you teach them the right way, then you don't have to worry month to month what excuse me, what new product is the company coming out with, and what special does the company have this month, or all these things don't matter anymore, because you're going to buy the things that you need for yourself. Okay, if some MLMs require a minimum purchase of $100 a month or something like that, well, you'll figure out how to do your $100 a month so you can get your bonuses, right? And those products are going to be things you're going to use anyway. So instead of having to go try to sell other people, you go to the store and you say, what do I want this month? Or what does my wife or my kids, what do they want, right? And you're just helping people. You're helping people get what they need and what they want, okay? It's an old thing, anyway, it is people. It is all about people, and it's a hard transition. When you're, like, for myself, right? I'm on a camera here, right? And I remember when I started in 2011, when I was doing this one company, I was scared to death to be in any kind of public thing. I'm an engineer, right? I design electronics and software and things like that, right? So to be on camera, I was scared, whatless, right? And the truth is, I remember I did in those days, I was like going, okay, well, I'm a diamond, so I guess I should be talking to my team, right? So I did this little free conference call thing, it was like a free service. You could do conference calls and stuff. And I remember I was shaking. I was so nervous about doing these little conference call things. And then, I was like the highest ranking person in my town. And so the CEO of the company would come out, and I'm like, oh no, what do I do? And I remember the first time, this is the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, right? And he's up on stage and he goes, hey, Ron, tell him a little bit about your story, how you came about through this process. And I was like, okay. So I started talking, right? And I'm in front of about 400 people, I guess. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm not nervous. I remember that moment, okay? I'm not nervous, because I've been building and building and building, and I started doing and it's like, if you think that, like, oh, I could never be on camera in front of a group of people, or I could never, speak or put my content out in the world, and just realize that, everybody is the same as you. Everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time, right? I mean, some people are really good and they jump into them, but, I'm not there, right? But the point is, right, everybody is like you or was like you. Nobody starts out life as a diamond or starts out as a multi-millionaire network marketer. And all these people going, I just had $1 million launch in 35 minutes. I'm like, yeah, right, 35 minutes. That's how long that launch really took you, right? Think of all the time investment of money and time and energy and resources to actually get that, short launch period, okay? Nobody, even the experts do a one-day launch and make, $1 million, okay? Without really having a crap load of time and energy behind that, okay? So if you think, oh my gosh, I could never be like that person, or it's like, yeah, you could. Yeah, you could, okay? If you want it, okay, and you want to help other people get where they need to get to as part of that process, you can totally have this. I mean, it's yours for the taking, because if I can do this, right, a broke engineer, I mean, trust me, and I mean, I'm now a public speaker, for goodness sake, right? I mean, there's like no chance in it, no way, right? You'd ask me in 2011 that would I be on a call with an internet marketer? I remember my very first webinar, okay? And I was selling my first book I'd written for money back in 2011, right? And I was so nervous. I had my thing all scripted out, right? What I was going to say on the webinar. I mean, literally, I was like reading it, right? And then I lost my place, and I was frozen. And I told the guy that was running that I was like an affiliate. I said, if I freeze, you better take over. And it's like, so he just took over, and I'm like, I'm sweating and I'm like shaking, and I mean, it was like not fun. It was one of my worst experiences. I'm looking through my notes, I'm like, what did I just say? Where was we're supposed to be on this thing? And I look back, I'm like, oh, wait. Oh, I think I know where I am now. Okay, good. Okay, I think I can continue here. He's like, okay. And off I went. And like, wow. I mean, I'm talking off the cuff here, right? No notes. I could never have done that 11 years ago, okay, or 10 years ago. So I'm telling you, if you're having confidence problems and you're concerned about, could I do this? Yeah, you could totally do this, okay? You just have to make the decision, and you have to say, well, why? You know, the why is what drives everything. Why would I do that? You know, one of the things I talk in my book is how to come up with a smart why, I call it, okay? Mm-hmm. A why that truly does motivate you. People go, oh, I want to save the world, or I want to start a clinic for veterinary animals, and have this free thing people can bring, or I want to travel the world, or whatever the things that they pick, right? It doesn't matter what they pick. It's the question I have is, tomorrow morning when you get out of bed, okay, is that going to be the thing that motivates you to push past the hard stuff that day, right? Mm-hmm. And if it's not, that's a crappy why. Doesn't matter how altruistic and beautiful it is. You need a why that really matters. Like if I said, you know what, your sister or your brother or your mom or your dad just found out they're in a hospital, right? And they're only going to live a week. If you don't sell 3 things, or you don't do a presentation online for Kim, okay, in front of everybody, in front of the world, and you have to do 3 of those by Sunday, and it's now Monday, so you have 4 days, 6 days to do that, right? If I just said, hey, could you do that without that little N thing? Most people will go, no, I could never do that. I couldn't come up with 5 original ideas in 5 days, right? But if I said, if you do that, your kid will be saved, right? Enough cash flow will come from that will save your kid. Do you think you'd be more motivated every single day, every single hour of every day to get something done? Okay? That's a why that really will motivate you. So you've got to, and your why is a moving target, right? Your why is a moving target. Once you accomplish something, it's no longer your why. You need a new why. Okay? Mm-hmm. So again, you just have to understand that, what you think a lot of times you don't, and you've got to learn it. You've got to follow people that have been on the path that you want to travel. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you want to learn how to do, Chrome apps, okay, follow Kim. Okay. She knows how to do this stuff. Okay. And if you want to do multi-level marketing, follow me. I can show you how to do this stuff. The point is, find the person that's in your industry doing the things you want to do and hook on to them, okay? And do what they do. Listen to them, okay? It's never just an overnight success. It never happens that way. But if you follow them and you take their guidance, okay, you've got to invest in your business, okay? And that means putting money toward it, time toward it. I mean, whatever resources you have, you've got to be on this mission. And your why is what drives everything. Everything. So, and when you'll discover, when your why starts dropping, you don't get stuff done. When you start getting comfortable in life, you don't get stuff done. Comfort stops progress. Mm-hmm. Right? Anyway, sorry about that. I'm on the soapbox here.
No, I think what you say needs to be heard. this Facebook user says, preach it.
I
Preach
like those guys.
it. Just preach it. Yeah, the reason especially on Facebook groups and in Facebooks, when we go and tell about our offer, I realized the switch that made it work for because some Facebook group owners will toil away and kind of like work so hard for so long.
Yep.
And not make any income from their audience at all, until they're sold onto themselves, as in they say yes to a life they could live, and then they step into this bigger meaning, this bigger version of themselves that they said no to for a long time. And the only way they would actually do that, and the only way that I teach them, like my clients, to be able to get clients, is it's not about that dollar figure. It's really way beyond that, to how does it feel for them to go, like if you're a health coach, to go and be able to help people run around with their kids like that. They would much rather do that than sit in a wheelchair, or like can't do that. It's much more like being able to see that clearly than saying, oh, make the money. Of course the money is there, but once you say yes to yourself, the lever is so strong. So I think what you say needs to be heard. It's something that people won't say to themselves on a daily basis. So that's why we listen to, podcasts. So that's why we show up and we watch interviews, because it's almost a religious thing to revisit again and again, to be able to be reminded about the true things, because our day to day is so, you can get lost in the forest. You can get lost in the trees. You won't see like the whole forest for what it is. So Lisa Allen, that's what she said. Okay, gave StreamYard permission. Oh, okay, it's Lisa. Hey, Lisa. Hey. I think what you say is very important, has to be said. And I think it takes what you said about investing in people.
Super important.
Growing up when I was younger, everyone's like, get a mentor, like Tai Lopez. I think that's when I first started hearing like, you got to invest in a mentor. And it felt so salesy and so cheesy when people say that. And the fastest shortcut that I've ever seen in my own growth and in my peers' growth is that they buy into a mentor that's making $10,000 a month in order to make that $10,000, and then they use that whatever money they make to invest in like a $50,000 mentor to make like $100,000 a month, and then it's just, that's the only way to grow. Because it's the same thing as like, what is actually real in reality? What's the real truth? The real truth is you're going to be just wandering in this world, really just shooting in the dark. And it's so multidimensional that you can get lost anywhere along the way, and you don't even know you're lost. You don't have no clue. You're just like thinking it's the right way to go until someone shows you, look, this is the pathway, and it's such a clear path, and all you need to do is just model after them. So
there's an expression I love. It's do you want to be a wandering generality or a meaningful specific?
Ooh, that's a good quote right there. Let's say it again.
Do you want to be a wandering generality or a meaningful specific? Because the more you can get focused on what it is that you really want to get done in life, and the faster you can find somebody who's been on that path that you can hook onto, what you're going to do is save time. It's a shortcut. Okay. You got to spend the money. You got to invest the time, the resources, the money. Maybe money isn't what drives it. Maybe they want you to help them be their assistant or whatever it is, right? There's going to be things that you can offer to that. And remember, every conversation you have with somebody, every conversation. I don't care if it's with your wife, your kids, your prospect, your dog, okay? What's in it for them, okay? Always go into a conversation, okay? In the beginning, you may have to practice this. You may have to think about it ahead of time. Nowadays, I don't think about it anymore. I just know that if I'm gonna have a conversation with somebody, I'm gonna try to create value for them somehow. I'm hoping I create value for Kim and for her group, right? And there's nothing for me on this, right? I mean, maybe, who knows, maybe someone will buy my book, right? But my point is that I know that I can help somebody else better their life, okay? And because I'm doing that, I feel better about that, okay? That's, when you can get into that mindset, you're coming from abundance, you're not coming from scarcity about what's in it for me, okay? As soon as you start turning that arrow back toward yourself, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It might work for short term, but then you lose all your friends again, right? Mm-hmm. So keep giving value to other people and think about, how can I make that person's life better because of this communication? I don't care whether it's an email, a phone call, a text. Anytime you put a message out to somebody else, try to create something that's valuable to them. And it might, in the beginning, again, you may have to think about, what would they want? And that's a good exercise to have. What would they want? Even if it's something as a compliment. You look great today, right? Or I notice how your lipstick matches your pendant. Or I mean, you know what I'm saying? People love compliments. Practice stuff like that. Just get into the habit of making somebody feel like, man, that was a great conversation. Because if you do that, they'll want to talk to you again, won't they? Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's all. You ever have the problem of, I mean, MLM people have it all the time. Salespeople, they make a phone call to somebody, they do a follow-up call, and like nobody picks up the phone, nobody calls them back. Well, why is that? Because you didn't give them value, right? If you left on a message that said, hey, I'm having this meeting, you should come to it, it's gonna be great, we're gonna meet some cool people, I'm gonna give away some prizes. Well, that's call number one. Call number two might be, hey, Susie, okay, the conversation we had the other day, it sounded like your kid had some problems with headaches and stuff. I did a little research for you, and I found this little essential oil that might help them in this. I made up a little sample for you. Would you like to get that? If so, give me a call back and we'll set up a time to connect. I mean, which of those people are going to call you back? Mm. Okay. Again, you created value for them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Every communication. You're talking to your spouse, your significant other, you talk to your animals, right? If you kick your dog every day, guess what? He's not going to come around, okay? But you give him treats, guess what? He's all around, right? It doesn't matter who it is or what it is. Any communication you have with somebody else, try to create value for them. Okay, I'll get off the box.
So what you said also reminded me about how you said people are thinking about themselves like first, and like when you see pictures, when you see a group of people, you take a group picture, what's the first thing you look at? Your own. And that's why like quizzes do so well, and you know, like astrology, like, are you Pisces, Libra? Because it's so popular, and it's so good because it's about you and about it's about them and about themselves and what are they getting out of it. It's not about your program, it's not about your thing, it's how can you take them where they want to be faster.
Right. So, and they may not even know where that is, but you're opening some possibilities for them, and they go, oh, that's interesting, I like that person, I think I want to follow them, right? I think I'll call them back, right? It's like dating, right? How many times have you gone on a date and been so nervous and now you spent the whole time talking about yourself, right? And that's usually like the last date, okay? Because they're like, I don't want to hear about you. I want you to be telling me about me, what you like about me, right? So it's every relationship, every connection. If you put the other person first and try to help them believe that you care about them, okay? It all comes to heart. They got to believe you care about them. Mm-hmm. And in the sales world, we call that know, like, and trust, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing. Okay. It's about them.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Ron, I usually go for an hour, and we have just sped by the hour super fast. So let's wrap this up by where can they go to find you? What do you have? What you're working on? You're all about MLM. What is that website they can go and find you, and how can they get a hold of you?
Okay. Well, MLMmasteryclub.com is the site that I'm building right now. And that site, I'm hoping to have that live. I mean, I can show people what it looks like inside at some point, but it's going to be kind of a central clearinghouse for anybody in any MLM. Okay. And it's MLM company agnostic. I don't want people selling their wares to other people. It's like with, it's like Kim or you, even if you wouldn't want to have people putting their affiliate links in your blog posts, right? I mean, it's the same kind of thing. So that's like a hard rule. But the cool thing about that is that now we can share generic MLM business building experience and help, because face it, MLMs come and go. There's 3,000 companies in the world right now, right? About 1,000 come in new every year and about 1,000 disappear every year, okay? Which leaves about 1,000 there's in the middle. So if you happen to pick unlucky, you don't follow the rules of my book, right? And you pick the wrong one and it's gone 3 years from now or 2 years from now, you want to be able to figure out, how do I do this? Anyway, you get the idea. I don't want to make it about one company, okay?
Yeah.
And even though I've had great luck with this company, I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. We pick the company and have fun with it. But MLMmasteryclub.com. And all I have right now is just an opt-in form, and I can, I'll be able to do some pretty cool stuff very soon. I can show people that are interested. Maybe I'll do a little webinar or something like that if people are interested. So,
all right, cool.
Anyway, thank you, Kim.
Thank you so much, Ron. I'm going to click end broadcast. Thank you, everyone, for showing up today. Super interactive, asking a bunch of questions. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, if you are planning to go to GroupConvert Live, we have an event in Vegas at this multi-million-dollar mansion. We only have spots for 40 people. There's only 2 spots left if you want a room in the mansion. And there's only 4 tickets left at the low early bird price of only $600 to join us. It's very close knit, and it's about human connection. It's about bringing us together. And after this type of event, we might have a 200-person event later on down the line. But things are opening back up, like Ron said. So we get to meet each other. I'm so excited to see you guys in Vegas. Go to GroupConvertLive.com. and you'll be able to grab an early bird ticket. All right.
What was the date of that event?
It is August the 19th to the 22nd. It's a 4-day event, and we have a pool party on the last day. So
bring lots of ice.
I know, right? Well, it's a huge.
Everything's air conditioned, so,
with lots of water. It's basically this like resort. Okay, cool, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Thanks, Kim. Keep smiling.
Oh yeah. If you like that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimcdang.com. That is KIMCDANG.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.